Hi everyone, this is Zach here, the Van Horn Automotive IT Guy, and welcome to Dealertrack 2.0. Today, March 14th, 2016, we have started rolling over dealerships to the new web-based 2.0 application. For those of you normally familiar with this Dealertrack DMS web client, which I have just opened right here, this is going away sometime in the next year, and they're moving everyone to the new web-based 2.0 system. So, you can continue to use it. A lot of functions will still work. However, you really do need to start using the new 2.0 system wherever possible, since that is going away at some point here. What has changed in the new Dealertrack 2.0? We'll open it in a second, but there are several business office related tools that have been added. Also, there is some customization available to us for each individual user. You can set up favorites on your profile, which can make navigating around Dealertrack just a little bit faster and a little bit easier. Without further ado, let's get into logging in. Before you do, however, you'll want to know your Dealertrack 2.0 session ID. Now, this used to be called your workstation ID or display device name in the old web client system. It's easiest to find it by going into one of these web client windows and going and clicking information up at the top. Now what you're going to see is a new box labeled display properties, and you're looking for the display device name. Mine is VanH1BOEG. VanH1BOEG. You want to write that down. Okay? Yours may be different. Yours may say VanH2FIJG or some combination thereof. If you have one that begins with a Q, for instance, QPADEVUV or something like that, you're going to need to contact me to get a valid one. You can still use that ID in the new Dealertrack 2.0 system, but that's like a default randomly generated one, and you won't be able to use printers or other things like that with the new system. Again, if you're just looking at attendance or something like that, it's not such a big deal, but for you accounting, business office, sales managers, those type of people, service, and all of you guys, you really need to have a Dealertrack session ID in order for this all to work. We're going to close out of all Dealertrack web client windows. So that includes printer sessions. If you had a printer session up like this, hang on a second, something like this. If you had something like this open, you're going to need to close this. You're going to need to close all your Dealertrack windows. Everything related to that needs to be closed so that your user ID is free. So next, we're going to drag any browser over. I'm using Internet Explorer, but you can use Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Mozilla Firefox, or even Apple Safari. They all work. That's a new feature with Dealertrack 2.0. It's all web-based, so all browsers work. And we go to dealertrack.com/login. That'll get us to this page. All you have to do is use your normal Dealertrack login, and then go up to the top in the upper right-hand corner, once it loads, and click the DMS icon. Now you can see here that it says caught window open error, unable to set property or location or undefined or null reference. This is pretty easy. It says down at the bottom, Internet Explorer blocked a pop-up. Your pop-up blocker needs to be off. If you get this message, you need to always allow this browser to make pop-ups. And that's going to open you into this. This is what you will see the first time you log into Dealertrack 2.0. Okay? So, remember that session ID we just used? You're actually going to click Manually Create Session ID and type in what we just wrote down or memorized earlier. You can see it in my list of previously used. I can actually just use a drop-down menu and use any of the ones I previously worked with. But for demonstration purposes, we'll go with this. This checkbox that says always prompts for a session ID, you do not need to check if you do not leave your desk or you never bother with changing your session IDs around in the old system. Most people will not need to click that. So click Login. And that's going to take us directly to the My Favorites tab. Now, the My Favorites tab is really pretty awesome, but for now, you may notice that all your applications that you're used to, Business Office, Service Department, are gone from this main screen. You don't see them anymore. You can find most of the functionality you're looking for up across the top. You can see Business Office, Parts, Service, General Ledger, and I'm just clicking on a few random ones here. You can kind of see how everything's arranged in kind of tiles. Now, for customizing the My Favorites page, this is going to look different for everybody, but you're going to see My Favorites, and you're going to see a notepad and pencil icon, Add Edit Favorites. So we'll click on that, and that's going to open us up a new window here. You can see on the left-hand side, we have Programs. On the right-hand side, we have Tile Layout. I can drag and drop any functionality through here into these boxes on the right. So for instance, let's say I wanted to grab Vehicle Information Entry. I can grab a whole bunch of stuff like this, and it'll be lined up in a row across the top. Now let's say I want to arrange it a little differently, and let's say I want to stick some of my stuff in row 2. Just grabbing some random things here. So now I go down to the very, very bottom and I click OK. You can see the stuff that I arranged in the box for row 1 is up across the top. Then we have row 2, row 3, so on and so forth. You can arrange anything you like. Now going back in there, you can arrange, if you're in Business Office and you do a whole bunch of deposits and purchase orders all the time, every day, then that's where what you're going to want to drag and drop. Same with all these general ledger accounts for you accounting folks, checks and things like that. All that is going to be housed in here. Same for service, payroll, system environment for me, and sales and Business Office. You guys are going to be looking at the stuff at the top here. Going back and clicking OK again. As far as anything else goes, when you go into service, you can still use these numbers. So I can press the number 1, enter, and get into service writing. Or I can press 5, enter, and get into, well, I'm not authorized to dispatching, I'm not sure. And all these different things, I'm not sure what you use day to day. So again, those things will still work. F3 will still work to go back, F9, things like that to do some of the different things. F9 to get into attendance and things like that. As far as things go, it's pretty much the same functionality as you're used to in your day-to-day work. However, and most of the new features are more for the Business Office. One thing to note, however, is when you are done with the Dealertrack 2.0 settings, when you're done with the Dealertrack with your work for the day, you're going to go down here and click Sign Off. And the reason this is because otherwise your session ID will hang and it will still be orphaned out there. And if you pile too many of those orphans up, it stops working for you, and you will get an error that says something to the effect of unable to connect to virtual device or something like that. And you won't be able to log in, and you will have to either call me or call Dealertrack in order to get that resolved. Any other questions? I am available. I'm not a Dealertrack 2.0 expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I can definitely act as a starting point for anything. You can also call for more immediate and probably more expert help, the Dealertrack help desk at 1-877-357-8725. Option 4 for Dealertrack DMS and option 4 again for hardware. So 1-877-357-8725, option 4, and this will get to you to the hardware department. Again, thank you for watching. I hope this helps. Enjoy the new Dealertrack 2.0.